Well, good morning, Solid Rock. How we all doing? Come on, you can do better than that. It's Friday. Good morning, Solid Rock. Hey guys, we are excited for another Friday. We got what is it? 2 weeks. We got testing coming up soon. We got half day Astro Skate. We got review week coming up. A lot of fun stuff coming up. So, hey, real quick before we start singing, before we start worshiping, just want to remind everybody. We got about, I don't know, 10, 11 weeks of school left, and we're more than halfway through the school year, and just want to remind everybody, the rules, hey guys, pay attention, the rules of school have not changed since the beginning of the year. Friday is still a day where we wear our school colors, we wear our school shirts, okay? This isn't a day where we just, because we're off on field trips, guys, the concept behind that is that we're able to identify you very quickly when we're all going on our field trips and stuff. So school shirts on Friday. The same rules apply Monday through Thursday as they do on Friday when it comes to cell phones, headphones, okay? Paying attention to our teachers, staying with our groups, being respectful. This isn't a free-for-all today, guys. Yes, we have a lot of fun on Fridays, but all the same rules still apply. So we don't want to talk about this every single Friday. We want to start off right by worshiping our God, but guys, if you take your phones out today, they're going to take it away just like Monday through Thursday. Okay, if you don't have a school t-shirt on, we're going to stop you in the lobby and tell you to put your school t-shirt on. Okay, it's for your safety and it's for us to be able to identify you when we go on our field trips. Okay? Now, with all that stuff out of the way, stand up, come up to the front, let's start singing, let's start worshiping. Let's go. We got an oldie but a goodie here, guys. We haven't done this one in a while. I love this set this morning.
Open the eyes of the blind. There's no So open up the gates, make way before the King of Kings. For the God who comes to save, she set the captives free. Who can stop the Lord? Let's sing that again. Open up the gates. So open up the gates, make way before the King of Oh, the God who comes to save, she will set the captives free. For who can stop the Lord Almighty? Our God is the Lion of Judah. He's roaring with power and fighting our battles. Every knee will bow before Him. Our God is the Lamb that was slain for the sins of the world. His blood breaks the chains. Every knee will bow before the Lion and the Lamb. Every knee will bow before Him. Who can stop the Lord Almighty? Who can stop the Lord Almighty? Who can stop the Lord Almighty? Who can stop the Lord? His love is furious. Who can stop the Lord Almighty? Who can stop the Lord? Come on, sing it out. Oh, who can stop the Lord Almighty? Who can stop the Lord? Come on, sing it again. Oh, no one. Who can stop the Lord Almighty? Who can stop the Lord? Our God is the Lion of Judah. He's roaring with power and fighting our battle. Every knee will bow before Him. Our God is the Lamb that was slain for the sins of the world. His blood breaks the chains. Every knee will bow before the Lion and the Lamb. Every knee will bow. Our God, oh yeah. Our God is the Lion of Judah. He's roaring with power and fighting our battles. Every knee will bow before Him. Our God is the Lamb that was slain for the sins of the world. His blood breaks the chains. Every knee will bow before the Lion and the Lamb. Every knee will bow before Him. Every knee will bow. Every tongue confess.
Back and forth. Last time.
Come on, let's get moving. Get.
Safe in the same sense.
You were more than words can say. I follow you over all my days. Fix my eyes following your ways. Forever free in an ending grace. You are my freedom. We lift you higher, lift you higher. Your love never ending. You are light in us. Nothing can take your place. You are all we need. Your love has set us free. Darkest night, let your love be the shining light, breaking chains that were holding me. You sent your son down to set me free. Everything in this world will fade. I'm pressing on till I see your face. I will live that your will be done. I won't stop till your kingdom comes. Come on, because you are my freedom. We lift you higher, lift you higher. Your love never ending. You are nothing can take your place. You are all we need. Your love has set us free. You are nothing can take your place. You are all we need. Your love has set us free. Because you are my freedom. We lift you higher, higher. Your love never ending. You are nothing can take your place. You are all we need. Your love has set us free. You are nothing can take your place. You are all we need. Your love has set us free. Through the shadows I can see your love's chasing after me. You lost the candy of my dreams over the oceans of my dreams. Like the wind that moves the trees, your love's chasing after me. Take it out. Oh, mountain higher, no river wider. My heart may wander, your love never stop chasing after me. Your love never stop, never stop, never stop. Stop chasing after me. Your love never stop, never stop, never stop. Your love never stop chasing after me. More than my words can say. And Jesus, I come. Jesus, I come. And in all my weaknesses, you are my confidence. Jesus, I come. Jesus, I come. Standing, heaven open over me.
words of that song, Solid Rock. We will, in the midst of what's going on in the world right now, with schools and families and homes, together we will, as a community, as followers of Christ, we will rise up against the darkness that tries to overtake this world. And sometimes it seems like the news is just pushing all this in our face and all these things that are happening in the world, and we may lose hope, but just know, God, we come this morning humble and filled with grace, your grace, God. We come humbled and filled with your love, God, your everlasting love. So my prayer this morning as we go about our Friday, as we go into our weekend, please, don't be afraid. Your God is bigger than anything. Your Jesus that died for you is greater than anything in this world. Just remember that. God, we love you. God, we praise you. Thank you for your grace. Thank you for your love. It's everlasting, Lord. Fill this place. Fill these people. Thank you for giving this safe place to us, God, that we can come and worship you. That we can come and learn about you, God. Again, God, we thank you. We will rise up. We will rise above the darkness in this world, God. Thank you for giving us the opportunity. We love you and we thank you. In your mighty name we pray. Amen.
What keeps us from following God? Maybe it's the way we procrastinate the things that we just know are truth. We procrastinate good versus evil. We procrastinate right versus wrong.
Hey, Dad.
Yeah.
Hey, my buddies are going to see this movie, okay? And I know you and I know about the movie. We talked about it, okay? But before you say anything, okay? I know that there is some cussing in the movie, okay? But it's just a little bit, okay? Just a little bit, and I know it's not real, okay? And there's some violence, okay? But it's just a little bit, and I know it's not real, you know? And there's some nudity in it, okay? But it's just a little, and I know it's not real. But anyway, can I please go see the movie, please?
Okay.
I knew it! You don't ever let me do anything! What do you think?
You can go see the movie.
That's awesome! You're the coolest guy in the whole wide world!
Whoa, before you go, I knew we were going to have this conversation again, so I decided I would make you some of my famous brownies that you loved since you were a kid.
These are my favorite brownies.
You
in the whole
love
wide
those
world.
brownies since you
I
were a
love
little kid,
these.
and so I thought I'd just make them for you. You know, the same great ingredients that I always put in those brownies,
Yeah.
but this time I just added a little bit of something, just a little bit of something. It shouldn't affect the whole batch, it's just a little bit of something.
You shouldn't mess with perfection.
That's my point exactly. That's my point exactly. But I've added the same ingredients that I always have. You got the eggs, the flour, the cocoa, you got the little bit of vanilla, you got the almonds. Same great ingredients that I always put in there.
Powdered sugar?
Powdered sugar is in there, but this time I added just a little bit of something.
Brown sugar?
Brown sugar, a little bit of brown sugar, yeah.
White sugar?
Sure. Yeah, we'll go with that. Sure. But I added just a little bit of something in there. Just a little bit of something. It shouldn't affect the whole batch, though.
Cumin?
No.
Allspice?
No.
Old Spice?
No.
I taste a little different.
But it shouldn't affect the whole batch, son. It's just a little bit. I mean, yes, same wonderful ingredients, but it's just a little bit of something.
What is it?
Dog poop.
Excuse me?
Just a little bit, son. Just a little bit.
It is dog poop. From the big dog or the little dog?
From the little dog.
That's a no dog. Why would you put dog poop in the brownie?
Son, it shouldn't affect the whole batch. It's just a little bit. It's just a little bit.
I get it.
What?
It's just a little bit. It's just a little bit. What? Hey, the next time you don't want me to go see a movie, just say, son, don't go see a movie. Don't feed me poop brownies. I don't even want to go to the movie now. I just want to go get something to drink. There better be lemonade in the refrigerator.
What keeps us from following God? Maybe it's the way we procrastinate the things that we just know are truth. We procrastinate good versus evil. We procrastinate right versus wrong.
Hey, Dad.
Yeah.
Hey, my buddies are going to see this movie, okay? And I know you and I know about the movie. We talked about it, okay? But before you say anything,
Yeah, we've been talking in homeroom about procrastination, putting things off. We've been talking about... Yes?
Hey, Carl, I know your room's pretty clean, but I got this box.
What's that in your hand?
It's my box, and I'm kind of running out of room in my room. Do you mind if I just put this in here? I mean, you got plenty of room, right?
Okay.
Okay, I'm just gonna put it in.
All right. It's your box. Okay. So, in homeroom, we were talking, I believe it was just yesterday, we were talking about, like garbage in, garbage out. What? Yes?
Hey, Carl, I was just wondering, I see you got plenty of... Yeah. Do you mind? Just a couple more. I mean, just one more, maybe.
I'm trying to work here.
I think I'm good for a while. If I just give you this one more.
All right. Just put it down. Oh, right in front of me. Okay.
See you later.
Anyway, so talking about procrastinating, putting things off. That's not good for you. We talked about... Is he coming again? Yeah. What is it, Aaron?
Carl, I got some new things. Yeah, I got some new things, so I need to...
More. It's okay, I can stand up. I can see over the box. So, in homeroom, we're talking about putting things off. It's not good for you. You should do what you need to do when you need to do it. If you put it off to the end, then it's going to be nagging on you and be bothering you, and you're worried about having to still take care of what... This side, over here. Sorry. I'm not even going to ask you what's in. Oh my goodness gracious, great balls of fire.
Oh, that's a big box. See you later, Carl.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Aaron. It's like I'm all crowded in here. Aaron. Oh, Mr. Aaron. I can't see anything. I'm surrounded by all of your junk. It's too much stuff, man. It's too much stuff. It's all in my way. It's messing up my room. My room that used to be so cool. Knock it down, I heard somebody say. I can't move it. I can't budge it. It's just too much junk. So high. Okay, Aaron, I gotta get rid of this stuff. I can't do my job, buddy.
Sorry, Carl.
Oh.
Let's just kick it down. Whatever, it's a bunch. Anyways, who cares?
You see, I had a nice clean room, and it was just a little bit. I said, he brought me just a little box at first, just a little bit. And okay, I can ignore that and keep doing my job, keep doing what I want to do. And then he brought me a little more, and a little more, and it kept getting bigger and bigger. And so like when we let a little bit into our lives, eventually it can, well, I don't know, how about if we take a look musically speaking? Mr. Chris, can we hit that one and see, maybe that'll explain it a little bit better. No, next one. Too permissive, next one.
That's the one. Oh yeah. I love classical music.
Oh, it's so peaceful, isn't it? I think heaven's gonna sound like this, man.
Oh man, there's nothing better. It just calms the soul. Yeah.
That's nice.
Now we're talking. Get some drums going.
There's those drums.
Johnny the Good. The guitar.
And you know, satisfaction.
There's grammar, isn't it? You see, it doesn't matter what type of thing you're into. If you let it slide, it's just a little bit, eventually it gets to be too big for you to handle. Now, I really don't think that rap music is going to cause a nuclear explosion. It could, but
Some of those bass beats, I mean, they're really dropping that thing low.
I hope you're getting the point that we're trying to make about the point about letting it slide. Don't let things slide. Have some standards.
You know, it's something that I was thinking about when we were doing the room analogy. You know, if you've got so much stuff in your room, how are you supposed to function? How are you supposed to move? And really, I think sometimes we get our house, our home, which is our, you know, inside the temple, our heart, so cluttered and so full that how is God even welcome in there? Right? And that's the thing. Like, how are we opening up the door for God and not for other things? You know, Carl, if I were trying to get into your house, right, and you didn't want me there, but if you left that door even cracked, what does that do? That opens the opportunity for me to get in your house. If I can get a foot in your house, right, how are you gonna get that foot out? Right, and then eventually after that foot, I can get a leg, my body, and then I'm all the way in. And now I'm, you know, doing, maybe destroying your house, whatever it is, right? And that's what really, like, we have to understand. You know, I know that in my life, like, I've allowed little things to creep in. And I thought, well, you know, I just want to, I'm just going to listen to this song, not because of the lyrics, but I just really like the music behind it. I was telling Carl that was one of my biggest excuses growing up as a teenager. And listen, okay, I'm not saying that you just have to listen to Christian music all the time. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that what you allow in your brain, right? What you're listening to in your brain, whether you realize it or not, it is programming your brain. You are programming your brain with the things that you allow in it. How do you want your brain to be programmed? And like Paul was saying this morning when we were praying, right? Some people in the past week have programmed their brain in a way that is not proper, right? It's not good. It's serious stuff, right? And I'm going to tell you one thing. I'm going to be straight up with you. It didn't start that way in their brains. It was a small thing they chose. It was the little things that they chose to start doing. Video games are a great example. I start playing a game where I'm shooting people up. What you're doing is you're telling your brain, hey, it's okay to do this. And you know what? There's no repercussions to it. I'm not going to get in trouble. And you do that in virtual reality. Soon enough, virtual reality becomes reality. And I know, I'm strong. I can handle it, Carl. I'm strong. I can do it.
You think you can. But the damage has already been done. All right, now, I'm gonna get real serious here, so please, settle down, pay attention. All right, story that we talked about in homeroom that Jesus brought to his disciples. There was the story of the Good Samaritan. And I know you guys that were with me at the AS campus the last couple of years, we talked about that one a lot. And hopefully everybody got that in homeroom. But you see, what had happened was that this whole situation, like Mr. Aaron said, it didn't start right then and there. These other people that chose to ignore the injured person, they didn't just wake up and say, today I'm going to be self-centered. See, whatever little thing, just a little bit, that they let into their lives, slowly but surely poisoned their outlook, the way that they viewed things, so that their whole sense of being was about me, about I, not anybody else. They probably didn't even recognize that the guy needed help. All right, quick recap. I see a couple of blank faces out there. Maybe you've forgotten the story since we told it yesterday. All right, a man was going into town, and robbers, bad guys, jumped him, and they just beat the tar out of him, and they stole all of his stuff, and they left him on the side of the road for dead. And so a religious leader, a priest, a preacher, if you will, came by and saw him and stepped to the other side of the road because they didn't have time for that. All right, this is a preacher. This is a leader in the church. How did he get so jaded in his way of thinking that he couldn't stop and be bothered to help somebody out? Even good Christian people, when you let things in, just a little bit, when you let it in, it turns the way that you look at things at life. So he went on. Pretty soon another person that was related to the guy, maybe a distant cousin, we don't know, but he saw him and said, what? You're not even going to help out your own family? All right, again, those little bit of things is coming in. And this kept going on until finally the injured man's sworn enemy sees him. Doesn't think, hey, this guy probably hates me, I better not help him. No, he goes over, he helps the guy, he dresses his wounds, he takes him into town, he pays for the doctor to fix him up. Never even gave it a second thought. This is a man who is constantly putting other people first. If you remember last week, I told you my favorite word is joy, J-O-Y. Jesus first, then others, and then yourself. Learn to have that mindset, develop that muscle memory, so that the first thing you think about is helping somebody else when you need, if they just happen to drop their purse or a book, or if they're really injured or something.
this did not start just that morning. Slowly but surely, they're developing either good habits or bad habits. You are making choices every day of your lives, whether you're going to develop your character into a good person or not a good person.
And that's just like Carl was saying, like our brain is just like anything else, it's a muscle, right? And our brain is like the greatest, most powerful muscle when you really think about it. Yeah, it might not be the strongest, it can't lift things, but it can do so many things. Like it's amazing the capabilities of your brain. Like a computer can't touch what your brain can do. And that's what's unbelievable and amazing. And the thing is if we really valued our brain, and if we really saw it for what it is, then how would we treat it? Right? How would you treat it? How would you condition it? And we talk about the heart. Now, it's really kind of a metaphorical thing, right? We're not talking about, oh, my heart is good, so now I'm going to be kind. No, the heart is really kind of the source of everything in our life, right? It's our life. Our heart gives us life. It pumps everything through our body. If our heart doesn't function, nothing functions right. And that's really what we're talking about when we talk about the heart. It's your mindset. It's how you believe and how you've conditioned your life. Just like this Good Samaritan. And the thing is just like Carl was saying, like this guy helped someone that was his enemy, that didn't like him. But he had over time developed this ability to do that. And you can do the same. Okay, here's the thing that I've run into, like, not lately, but yeah, probably lately, is I think that the way I am right now is just who I am. Okay, anybody else kind of in that boat where they feel like, okay, the way I am right now, that's just my personality, that's how God created me. But you know what? God didn't create you to not help others. Did you know that? God didn't create you with a personality to say, I'm going to leave that person alone, they're hurting. No, He created you to help and serve others and to be a support to the people around you. And to have a generous heart, to be kind. But it's something that is the opposite of what we're born into. We are born into sin. When Adam and Eve sinned, we were born into that. And with that, we have a selfish nature. Now, the nature of Christ, the nature of Jesus, is the complete opposite. So when you begin to develop an understanding that, hey, I need to get with Jesus, instead of getting with my flesh, things are going to begin to change. We talk about what would Jesus do, right? We've talked about that in the past. But it's understanding that when we catch His nature and who He is, that we become like that. And we change and we reprogram and we rewire the way our system runs. And when you say that you were created that way and that's just your personality, it's not right. I hate to say it, but it's not right. And I'm talking to myself right now too. It's not right. I need to love people, and I should have a love for people that goes beyond myself and my inner self. And the question today is this, okay? Are you going to put light in, or are you going to put dark? Okay, Carl? There's no in between, is there? There's no gray spots. And when you choose to do something on a daily basis, I want you to ask that question, guys. You hear me? Everybody hear me? When you choose to sit down and listen to music, ask yourself, am I putting light in, or am I putting darkness in? Then go to the next thing. I'm playing a video game. Okay, I'm going to choose this video game right here. Am I putting light in, or am I putting darkness in? I'm going to go talk online. I'm going to do a little chatting with some people. Am I putting light in, or am I putting darkness in? Okay? Every time, ask yourself that question, and I promise you, you'll begin to program and rewire your brain to function the way it was created. Because God created it to love. God created it to love.
When this country was founded, when they founded it, it was based on religion, on religious freedom. People came from Europe over here, and one of their mottos that they said was that they were going to build a civilization that would be like a light on a mountain, shining out for everyone to see that they came to serve God. So like Aaron said, are you going to be a light or not?
Lord, we come before you this morning and we thank you that we have this opportunity every Friday to come and really just develop ourselves. Lord God, we've talked about it, how we need to change some things in our life. Maybe we need to rewire some things. And I know that every single person in this room has something that they can change. So Lord God, I ask, Lord, we haven't just been given a word today, but Lord, we've been given an opportunity to apply it. We've been given an opportunity to actually take action to what we've heard today. So Lord, I pray that in our hearts and in our spirits that you begin to stir a hunger and a desire for love. And Lord God, just to walk in the light. Lord, that we would see the darkness as it really truly is. Because Lord, sometimes the darkness can get so deceptive. It can be so tricky. Lord, it makes it look, darkness looks good sometimes, God. Let's be honest. It looks good. But Lord, your light is the truth. And your light is so much better. And when we step into the light, the darkness becomes what it is. And we see it for what it is. So Lord, I ask that even today, you would begin to open our eyes. Where we have been blind to the darkness, that you would open our eyes. And I ask that as we open our eyes to that, as you open our eyes to that, that things would begin to change. That our minds would become renewed, Lord God, as it says in Romans, Lord God, that you would renew our minds. Make it new, Lord God. Where it was living in the old, that every part, every component of what we think and how we process would live in the light and live in the new light. We thank you for today. We thank you for covering and safety over each and every one of us as we go out. And I thank you for a newfound confidence in our hearts to know that the light is worth striving and fighting for. God, we will find you and we will discover you in all that we are, Lord, and we're seeking after you hard. And we pray it all in Jesus' name. Amen.